All right, let's do it to it. Yes, yes, y'all and Johnny Boy be ballin'. Let's get it. Fastest freaking show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Who with your boy? Big Johnny Stud coming to you worldwide. Brooklyn, New York as always. Coming out that damn chair as always. No rest for the weary. Around here, doing the damn thing 7 days a week. Follow me up on Twitter at John Flow. Sharper than a razor, same handle over on Substack. We're $2 a week, $5 a week. Forget that shit. $2 a week, get your 5 pence of shit in a 2-pound box. How about that? Check out the pin post for all the samples and stuff. I'm so tired of shaking my tits trying to get people to subscribe, but it's kind of the name of the game here. So you get ranks and stats and projections and everything, implied team totals, and, of course, what else would we be about if not the very best part of waking up? Pitching sheets in your mug. I mean, how could you beat it? Whatever. I'm just tired of banging the same drum. You either recognize value in this world or you don't, right? And you fall behind. There's the fucking door. Support good people doing good work. Don't be a cheap bitch your whole life. Not your whole life. All right, we got a full slate today. 15 games. My ass is a little chapped. Losing day. Yesterday, I think I'm 7 sessions into my 10-session combine. I'm down a few units, but man, we had a couple of rough spins. And if I don't make it out of this combine, I restart. But I won't be down any money, which is why we always promote that. It's the beginning of the season, right? Scoring is down. We're getting a lay of the land. There's no need to just come out of the box flying. You don't need to do that. Get your feet underneath you, show you can be profitable for 10 sessions, and then you go live. Done deal. And if it takes you 2 or 3 shots, that's a couple of buy-ins and a couple of units, that you're saving, which you could take to sign up to the fucking Substack. What happened yesterday? Oh, man, we were under Baltimore. Again, should have been under the F5. That was a winner. We were not. We were under the full game. Made it all the way to the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. Gunnar Henderson at the dish. And going back. And the under is... God. Whoop. Well, such is life in the big city. And then the fucking Red Sox, my gosh, they refuse to score. There was 1 point late in the game where it was man on second, no outs, or first and third with 1 out. Thought for sure they'd get the run in. Of course, they did not. So we're down a little bit, but again, I don't let this shit bother me because it's it's combine time, baby. All right, let's do the 7 p.m. stuff as always. First, like to keep an eye out for my commuter crowd. Okay, this is the example of this is how I want the show to be as far as speed. The longer it gets, the less people view. So let's try and keep it tight, people. I'm not going to get distracted by the comments, though you are always welcome to jump in the YouTube stuff. I'll circle back at the very end. As I was listening back, it really disjointed the show. As much as I love you crazy mofos. Right, maybe I'll shout out the people who were there waiting and then clean up the rest at the end. But squirrel, I just cannot have the ability to split my attention so many ways. All right, it's Max Fried Eggs on the bump for the Yanks. Heavy favorite on the road down in Florida against the Flat Fucking Fish and Nicky Martinez. I was a little surprised, to be honest, when the Rays went and paid Martinez. He didn't really seem to fit the bill. Not a big kind of strikeout guy. The command and the control were there. Maybe they saw a leg up. He's off to a pretty good start. I don't know if I'm necessarily buying it just yet, but the 2026 stats are there. Right, you see those on the rightmost column. The colored board is 25 and 26. So I think the Yankees have the clear edge with Fried. He kind of does everything. Total bulldog. Maybe Martinez a little better than the market gives him credit for. Yankees offense has been pretty rotten. Right now we have year-to-date split lefty-righty and then just overall last 7. Yankees type of team, that L7 is going to start to rumble before it takes off. Right now they're atrocious. Now, it's not to say we don't think they're going to win games. Yankees still not like an atrocious ball club. I know I lied about the comments. Brandon 6F, I see you, dog. Good morning. Keep up the good work. Yo, appreciate you. This isn't fucking madness, baby. Baseball's version of 300. Give the book nothing. Take from that bitch everything.
This is Sparta!
Damn fucking right it is. So it's not to say the Yankees are terrible and not going to win, but the carrying tool for the Yankees, that offense is not where that price is reflecting. So right now, you're not going to see me paying minus 200 for shit on the Yanks. That's craziness. The bullpen's been really good. The Rays bullpen has been pretty bad, so we could probably cap this one up easy. You know, the price for the Rays is there. They juice the shit out of these F5 run lines with good reason. That one's, well, it is plus 110. Sorry, I misread. My eyes went cross. So, all right, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. They can be juiced to the balls. This one's not necessarily the case. You could get the Rays at plus 10, plus 110, getting the half run. Listen, Fried is awesome, but you're hoping to scratch across a 1-1-0-0 and get out of there with your nuts intact. If not, I think you're betting the under on the F5 and not tempting fate, giving the Yankees those plate appearances against a really shitty Rays bullpen. Just, they're hard to rock with right now. Jax has been crappy. Maybe he gets it going and they're okay. Like Baker has stepped up and looked really good. Everyone is pretty much fully rested. The Rays played yesterday. Everybody had 2 days off in that bullpen before. So, it's full strength. Jax did get the hold. Seymour got the hold. I like Seymour a lot. I think he's significantly better than we've seen. So maybe the Rays bullpen does kind of turn up. I don't know if I could get to the Rays win. I think Fried is a little too dominant. Yankees are going to be carrying this heavy fucking tax regardless of who's pitching. So I don't think you need to pay it. I think we're going under. I think you're going maybe, and again, the Rays run line. Again, why not take the F5 run line? To me, it almost wouldn't make sense to go otherwise. Hold on, sorry. I forgot to set up my show pick marks. So I'm not like totally locked in here. But if I had to get with anything, it's Tampa F5 run line, because you're getting the price. Who the fuck want what? Next up, Foster Griffin, the winged lion, on the bump against the Cheesemakers in Milwaukee to face Kyle Harrison. So if I'm not mistaken, Griffin was actually pretty good so far. Now, it's been more outputs than inputs. Sierra through the roof, 41% ball rate, 53 first strike, 27 chase. That's not going to work, especially against a team like Milwaukee, right? So remember, one of the benefits of the tools, once you get to use them, everything is set and built for speed, right? That leftmost column is game order. So before I do the show, I set everything in game order. Teams in red are facing lefties. And you could flip back and forth and kind of continue your thinking, right? We built up the pitcher. How does it work with the hitters? Now, of course, I derailed myself. But the point was, got to be careful with that type of approach against Milwaukee with their type of approach. Maybe the best approach in the game, super passive. They're going to let you throw balls. They're going to take walks. And if not, yes, they kind of are, worm eaters, right? They're a little bit of lawnmowers with the high ground ball rate. They do hit it hard. They get on. They steal a ton of fucking bases. Milwaukee is very dangerous. Same to be said for the Nats. I guess we got lefty on lefty violence here. Nats have been awesome. They've even been good against lefties, which had been a bugaboo. Not so much the case right now. I will stop just because I'm going to promote my own anus. VQ Lopez, how much is it for the spreadsheets? Everything, I really try and keep everything super, super cheap. This was my war room before I started. So I'll just make this a quick commercial. I say $2 a week because it's $8 a month. But if you sign up for the whole year, I give you the last month free. We also have NFL. The NFL data is up. And I've got sick stuff, all the fucking advanced shit. EPA and zone data and fucking yards per pass play, net differentials, like all the fucking cool shit. Just like baseball. If you give me stuff you want, I put it up on the board. The NFL stuff is fucking awesome. Plus, I have weekly projections and we do like picks and reception ladders and shit. So it's $88 for the year, which is like $1.65 a week for the season. If you're like, whatever, if you're even serious about betting at all, I would mark this as a loss, pay for the subscription, look to make it up because it's going to pay it forward all year. So I appreciate you for watching the show, and anybody that does sign up, it's kind of what we're all about. I hate the fucking bag and shit, but It keeps the lights on. So the spreadsheet stuff, very valuable. Also, while we're mentioning it, I adjusted the shapes of my sheet so they would fit on the board to give you an idea of, again, what you're getting. The expected stuff, Team X Woba and X Wobacon, I think on their own are worth the cost of admission because they're not available. They're not anywhere. You literally cannot find them. Savant, who lists X Wobacon, doesn't split it. So once we're a fucking month in, you're on your own. You don't get lefty-righty. You don't get time split. When you roll with us, you get all that stuff. Adonis, right? I appreciate you. I know I said I wouldn't do it, but if you're going to promote me, says it's worth it. Been with John for about a year now. Yeah, oh, right. Here we go with the back end. Adonis, listen, we're all friends here. I appreciate you, the support, right? Because I think everybody, we all get inundated with fucking advertisements and no one wants to see them. Real people telling you, like, yo, this is worth it, to me is the best thing. Appreciate all my fucking Spartans out there. So let's get back in it. I think as much as I like Harrison, who I think is taking a step up to get back on track, he's been freaking awesome so far, and I think we're getting that. Got to be careful with the offenses here. So I'm split. Out of curiosity, I know I didn't get an answer, but Algo says. Okay, I've got, Milwaukee. So the Algo is telling us to pass. Because the Algo has Milwaukee for like a smidge of a win. F5. Not nearly enough to cover the minus 175. I guess when we get towards the end, it's finding vulnerability in the Nats bullpen. Again, flip right to the bullpen, same order, right? So again, you understand how to use this stuff. Nats bullpen 5.92 ERA, 1.6 WHIP, like a 3% KBB, too much contact, 13% barrel, 15 home runs. So I do feel okay betting the Brewers to win, but I still don't like the cost. I feel like you can get this same line live in the fourth or the fifth inning at a better price, almost regardless. Unless Milwaukee blows them out, then you missed. If the Nats are ahead, you'll get Milwaukee probably, even if it's not an underdog, you'll get them close to even. And if it's tied, it'll probably be minus 128. And that's where I think this one happens, I think. Griffin is a little bit better maybe than people thought, like myself, but not great. Could get exposed. But I'm not really willing to go there yet. We don't want to be paying taxes to face really good offenses in this environment where runs are at a fucking premium. Speaking of which, I never stop working for people. And what Claude has done for me, again, people that are modeling through these things, it's probably a mistake. They are very good at checking mathematics, right? They're very good. That's what they're very good at. I've been having it analyze the board and, with the scoreboards. And I'm going to print how we're doing, right? How the model accuracy, because remember, yeah, it's easy to grade my bets, but I'm picking 3. We're modeling 15. What if there's valuable information in the stuff we're not touching, right? So that's where I've been leveling up. I have a couple of reports I think I want to share. Let's get back on track. I'm not touching this one. Total is 8. We're right at 8. The favorite at home is way too expensive. Though, if we were doing donkey parlays or a daily dime bag get-together, I do like the Brewers to win because, again, they are hitting. So I don't want to face the Nats offense, but I do think you have the Brewers behind you, which is a good thing. Next up, Logan Webslinger on the bump for the Gigantes. San Francisco treats minus 120 favorites on the road down in B-More to face the Basset Hound. And the Blackbirds in orange vests. Even money for the O's at the crib. Yeah, clear pitching edge for Webb over Bassett, who has been very slow out of the box, 14 ERA so far. Now, Webb's is at 5. He got yoked the first time out. I do think Webb is going to be fine. He always has been. Bassett is still a good pitcher. We've seen him degrade on a per-inning basis. I'm starting to maybe get into the Giants here at the cost. Sorry, I have LH. Let's look at general offense right now. Baltimore has the edge on the macros from WRC Plus and WOBA. I don't think the underpinning stuff is quite as far apart, though both of these teams have definitely stunk. Let's look at L7 to see if there's a pop. Giants at least just a touch starting to get up off the mat. Oh, yes. Got to force that one in once a day. I don't love the Giants offense. What's funny is I do love the Orioles offense, but, they disappointed me last year. This is like the running gif of me when I'm on the Source Network. Talent will reign. Sample size will reign. It just hasn't come together for the Orioles. I don't know what's going on. I do think it will happen today. Maybe not so much. Webb, at the very least, he's good at forcing the ball down. The Orioles are a ridiculous ground ball team right now. He's good at suppressing contact. They're not hitting it hard. They have a sub 4% barrel in their last 225 plate appearances. Orioles bullpen probably slight edge, though Webb is the type of guy to get you distance. And if I'm not mistaken, again, the Cook bullpen report was clean minus the Padres. Yeah, Giants are rested. Caleb Killian looks freaking awesome. Eric Miller, who my guy Toast pointed out, having a nice season as well. So yeah, I think the Giants win this one. We're on the road. I wonder how much of a tax you have to pay for the F5. Same price, first 5 full game. I don't know. I guess, like I said, Webb goes deep. Bassett can go deep also. I don't know. I'm torn. I really don't have the answer here. If we were really picking nits, we have a wider spread on the F5 than the full game. So I'm just going to, again, it's not an answer. And I don't even believe that's how you read models necessarily, playing to decimals, but it's the best I got. If you're a full game better, go to it. This is one of those times I like to be very clear. I don't have the fucking answer. Sometimes the answer is I don't know. So the best thing we could do is to build that pathway that is consistent in its methodology. So if it's fucked, we can try and change one variable and correct it. Boom, yo, we're learning shit even on the weekends. Power Ranger Suarez on the bump for the Red Sox. Red Laundry, fucking disappointments. Minus 143 on the road against Kyle Leahy and the Redbirds. Cardinals doing the devil magic thing again. I thought they could be the worst team in the majors. They're 8-5, and I look like a fat fucking idiot. Mark Jordan says, morning, John. LH hitters, mass. Bassett, okay, we could dig that. Let's go. I could get on that. Anything. I'm laughing because I'm like, any piece of analysis that's going to confirm my priors, I'm like, yeah, let's giddy up. Small samples. But yeah, no, you're right. And they have, the guy. So I'm just not crazy about him either. I'm afraid Bassett, the age curve is eating him up. Okay, let's look at really quick at this one. Boston, St. Louis. Ranger Suarez, hashtag freaking awesome. I know he's been bad. I fully expect him to absolutely correct and get back on track. Leahy, shit. Did he go one up, one down? I felt like, unless that was Foster Griffin I was thinking about, I felt like one of these guys that I didn't know shit about. Although I was thinking retread. Leahy's not a retread. Schmeh. He went 5, gave up 4 versus the Mets. Went 5, gave up 2, walked 3 at Detroit. So Leahy definitely gettable here. He's a little bit wild. So it's just going to come down to the Red Sox offense. You could see on the season, 293 ex-WOBA, just disgraceful. The balls they're hitting well. X-Con does not lie. The problem with X-Con, right, like any of the damage metrics, they don't speak to frequency. Holy shit, we sound smart today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I promise to be fast. Again, the Miguel Sano theorem, right? So hold on. Got to be careful using damage metrics because they don't speak to frequency. The Miguel Sano theorem comes to mind. Miguel Sano gets up 100 times. He strikes out 99 of them. It sounds pretty believable. The one time he gets up, He not only connects, but hits 120-mile-an-hour moonshot, out and gone, out the stadium, into the parking lot, off my windshield, cracking it and disappointing me. Also, sounds very realistic. The bow rate is 100%. The ex-Wobicon is, infinite, whatever the hell. What's the problem? It doesn't speak to frequency. So, people get themselves in trouble. We could spin this into even more. This is like the lesson of lessons right here. People oftentimes speak to ex-Woba as a damage metric. It includes OBA on base. It can be spoiled by walks. That's not damage. You isolate ex-Woba to contact only. That's ex-Wobicon or ex-Wobacon. Bacon. That speaks, again, to the damage itself, but not to the frequency. So how do you solve all this shit? You sign up to the damn Substack. I give you the nuance and the context. It'll drip out of your nose into the brain, right? It'll leak into your brain by osmosis and just make us all a little bit sharper every day. So there you go. There's our, ninth lesson in the 20th minute. Now I'm going to promise to get back on track. Will the Red Sox offense do anything? I don't know. I hope so. The problem is even the contact's been low. They have been a little bit patient. Maybe Lee walks guys. Cardinals offense that I don't believe in. Let's flick over to lefties. They've actually really damaged lefties. I don't know if I'm ready to buy the sample. Again, it's very small. Cardinals looking pretty good last 7. Boston is not. This one's going to be really tough. But I thought the price would be a little more disparate. It's not. Model is saying to keep it close. I feel like a donkey. I'm not going to post this bet. But I like Boston to win. I just, I'm still in my kind of correction phase of I'm not buying it. I'm such a pitching honk. That's what it is. But if I had a gun to my head, you asked me if I believed in the Red Sox offense, the answer is like a clear and definitive no. This one, I almost choked on my espresso this morning. My boy, Parker Messick on the bump for the Guards, even money on the road in the dirty against Martin Perez. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. We are betting on the fucking Guards and Messick blind right here. I can't believe Martin Perez is a favorite in the year of our Lord 2026. I don't give a crap about again, Martin Perez, the other guy. How the fuck did he get away with that? Sitting below 90, he had a 358 ERA, 107 whip on a 520 Sierra. Single-digit KBB, 7.5 swing and strike, 39 ball. What a lucky bastard. 224 BABIP and a 7% homer to fly ball despite a 13% barrel rate. I know the Braves have the clear edge on offense. I think anything other than that would be a misframe. I don't give a crap. I don't care. We have the clearest of pitching edges. That said, the Braves bullpen is not to be effed with right now. We are still getting Messick at even money for the F5. That's the move. Take that crap and move it on up. Let's get it. Who is next? Ryan Feltner. Feltner damn near killed her on the bump for the Rocky Roads in the perfect weather near that beautiful aquarium to face Herman Marquez and the Friar Tucks. If you're looking up at the board, you'll see the frying pan emoji. That's marked clearly for cooked bullpens. So that just means a few things, right? It means, one, it's accounted for. Don't adjust the scoring. If you disagree the same way you would with any other one. Don't base it on that. The second thing it means, make a quick run over to the tab at the bottom, which you can see on the screen, with that same emoji. Everyone was off recently, so Padres only one on the board. Mason Miller has pitched 3 straight. I almost never expect a 4th outing in a row. He only threw 33 pitches. If there were ever a case where someone is going to get a 4th day, this would be it. Up and down is still a thing, so I don't know if we get that. Morahan has pitched back-to-back and 3 of 4, 52 pitches. I think he took the loss also yesterday. Kyle Hart, 2 of 3, and Jeremiah Estrada hit the IL, so the Padres bullpen, which we think of as being very strong, and I do think from a talent level is still good. Today is a rare time that they're like on the ropes. Mark S. up in the bitch Saturday morning. What's going on, player? Says, let's get it. Appreciate you all. So I actually think, right, I don't think much of Marquez. Feltner, listen, is like actually serviceable. He might fall into the Dollander bucket of guys who get an extremely bad rap because of the home road splits, which would quite literally be fundamentally dishonest for us to not account for. If we're like, oh, this is a game in Coors, we don't think about pitching in Coors because it's so stupid. But then not make that part of the analysis, right, is not correct. That's the wrong way to do things. So just out of curiosity, Feltner, like a league average pitcher on the road, 4.5 ERA, a 3.19 WOBA. 3.19 WOBA is not bad. And it's exactly the same to lefties and righties on the road. So he's not like split vulnerable necessarily. 135 whip on the road. Again, not great. 21K to 9.5 walk. Not great. Homer to 9, 1-2. Not great. But not this like, yo, gas can, attack. Because I kind of feel that more that way about Marquez. Neither has been great. Marquez a little worse than Feltner. Where I'm getting to in my kind of long way, I think we got to pick the Rockies to win this one, right? Even the Rockies bullpen's been good, but we mentioned the Padres hang-up. Yeah, you got like, you hate to do it because it's hard to imagine them ever winning a baseball game. I'm seeing Feltner 117 F5 and seeing Rockies 140 full game. Now you got to pick the you got to hold your nose, and you're playing the Rockies full game at the odds. Out of curiosity, I'm not. It's funny. This is like the worst admission for like a tout. I have no idea what the standings look like. Is that weird? Maybe I got to make that part of my routine. Like I just have no idea what they look like. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. So it's not something I account for. But the Rockies are 6-8. And they're in there. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. So you either die a hero or live long enough to fucking recommend Rockies money line. Next up, Jack the Torch Lighter on the bump for the Rangers. Plus 150 dog down in Hollywood. Always up to no good to face Emmett Sheehan and the Trolley Dodgers. Emmett Sheehan, one of my guys that I thought would make this incredible step forward with Connolly early. That has not happened, but the key word is yet. Lighter's been very good out the box. I was pretty high on him, and he looks really great. Now, you're going up against the buzzsaw that is the Dodgers. You see all the red on the board. They basically lead the league in just everything. Now, it's not important necessarily to know who leads the league, which is why the formatting on the sheets is set to 10th and 90th percentile, which is why I'm able to analyze with such clarity at such a high speed, because the actual number doesn't matter as much as where the thing falls to help you build the fucking tablet. I mean, again, the nuance and context just dripping. I have to start sticking cotton balls in my fucking orifices. I said feces. All right. So, I am so fucking stupid. Yeah, it's funny. As I hit that effect, like my knocked my ear out. So I'm gonna take the double fucking move. Yeah, I honestly deserve that. That was just atrocious. I'm better than that. So Dodgers top 5 percentile in runs, homers, average BABIP, OBP, OPS, ISO, swinging strike, hard hit, barrel, WOBA, WRC plus, X WOBA, and X WOBA. So Dodgers quite literally doing freaking everything, and it carries over across all the splits. Dodgers are really tough. If Leiter was going to get cracked, it would be today. And also conversely, to make myself, fully contradictory, if the Dodgers are going to get tore up, it's today. That's how baseball works. That's what this is. And it's just a matter of calling bullshit. But there are 100 ways to skin a cat without scratching its asshole. Right now, the Rangers' offense is dog shit. So maybe there's a pathway, to an under, right? Generally, I use this with the Yankees, but it works for the Dodgers as well, right? Really good teams with really good offenses that are awesome. That instead of looking for them to lose because, they're always good for a couple runs, seemingly, you kind of play to the under, that's what the model is calling for. I'm seeing 8.5s. However, that 8.5 is juiced. So the 8.5 under is even, which is the same, right, as being juiced to the under before it moves. Sorry, I know it's a little confusing, but the under 9, right, is minus 130. Right, we talk about this all the time. When your under is even money, the alt above it is going to be at a palatable price because you're teetering on it. So markets are actually telling us there's a chance that this gets to 9. In which case, going under that is going to cost you. I want to say Sheehan is going to do the bounce back. I just don't have the confidence. I wasn't planning on doing any hood popping today. But because I have, seriously, Frodo to the ring, my fate is tied to fucking Emmett Sheehan. I'm just curious how the diagnostics look. I'll be really quick. Velo is way down on the four-seamer. Spin is down, extension good, but the whiff rate is there. I'd, of course, be lying if I told you almost 2 miles an hour isn't scary. Though the shape has been unaffected. Rise is still good. The run is still good. Whiffs on the slider. Been kind of unlucky as far as contact goes. So it's really just been four-seam. So it feels like, again, this feels like velo. We're only, 2 starts in? If he comes out and he's got the 95, I'm expecting Sheehan to fucking mow him. And if not, I'm a little bit worried because he throws it a bit too much. But as far as diagnostics go, it's not time to hit the panic button for Sheehan, just being fair. We're worried about the velo. But again, it hasn't dragged down the entire portfolio. So maybe we're not too worried. I think I'm on the under here. If I'm pairing, I might give him the extra 20 cents to get under the 9. Right, so you may want to wait, right? I don't know if I framed it properly when I was talking about alts because I started speaking in the converse and inverses and stuff. This is a price trail, to be clear, right? The price is moving against, right? We're leaning under, the price is moving over. You wouldn't jump the alt because we could get the baseline. Hit me up with any questions. Next up, Seattle got it done yesterday, right? Hancock, who I like, got touched out of the box. He settled down. That's a really good sign. It's McCullers and the Stros, who he looked fucking sick. When he's healthy, Lance McCullers is very impactful on a permanent basis against Luis Castillo and the Mariners. I like the pitching matchup here. The hitting Astros have been incredible. The Mariners have been so bad, it's almost like there's only one way to go from here. Both of these guys have been really strong out the box. Mariners feel like an auto under right now. Going to be hard to bet them. You can see the difference year to date. Mariners, one of the worst offenses, if not the worst offense in the league. The strikeouts are crazy, swing and miss, losing in zone. They're really bad. They're pressing, it's really bad. Batting 190 as a team. Astros on fire, doing everything right. Taking walks, being patient. Pulling elevated batted ball events. Very hard to go against this iteration of the Stros. Saving grace here, their bullpen is shite. So this one is like all of the mixed signals. Literally all the mixed signals. I wouldn't actually bet this, though I'm wondering if there's a sports book out there crazy enough to take this bet. Can you parlay mixed double results? I mean, this is the sickest fucking play of all time. Right? I want to go down in the MLB handicapping Hall of Fame for this one. Because we're Houston F5, Seattle full game. With an F5 under full game over. How about that shit? If that hits, I want to be clipped and fucking framed. But you could see it. McCullers shoves, so does Seattle. Seattle can't get it done. Castillo, 24 seamers. Houston takes advantage. They were ahead 2-1 after 5. Houston F5 cashes. F5 under cashes. McCullers never known for distance, also being a bit wild. He gets pulled early. Houston bullpen is trash. Castillo settles in, hands it off to a good Seattle bullpen. Right, because the total is 7-5, this one ends up 5-3. So it's 2-1 after 5, or... Right, 2-1 after 5, and it ends at 5-3, and everybody goes home a huge winner. The only thing is, if a book would take that, they would probably never give you fair odds, because that's like this. That's the sickest fucking occurrence to happen. So, all right, that'll do it for the PM stuff. Quick recap on the nighttime for the people that are going to shut the show off because they're listening later on at night. I've got Tampa F5 plus money. I didn't touch Milwaukee, but I do think Milwaukee wins. I did mark down Logan Webb F5 win. I did mark down Ranger Suarez F5 win. I did mark down Parker Messick F5 win. We also marked down a Rockies moneyline win, plus 140. Texas and Dodgers playing to the under, get the 9. If not, man, I wish I could find the courage to bet on Leiter over Sheen. Somebody is going to have the guts to do that. Texas just inspiring no confidence in me. And then that crazy mixed double result. Let's clean up a couple comments here. Mark's back in there. I'm tailing. Awesome, right? Brian Rose, hey, what's up, baby? 38-1 on DK for the Stros fight. I love that there are actually people looking for this. That's craziness. Jeez, I almost have to get $1 on it, right? So I can hit it and then clip it without the money and show people how smart I am. It just, I know it's like half tongue in cheek, right? And at 38-1, it's actually in line with my expectations. 38-1 is not something you expect to hit. But I think the most important thing is this is like a lesson about thinking, right? Be comfortable with uncertainty. You don't have to flag play. You don't have to know something. You don't have to have some overriding gut feeling to push you towards something. You don't have to do that, right? Brian Elford, what's going on, player? Have a great day to the crew. Appreciate you, man. He's got the swords out.
This is Sparta!
Damn right, brother. All right, now let's just do the back end of the show is actually going to be me keeping my word and just doing, I used to call them the board reads or the express show when I would rip Corked Stats and had plans in the morning. So I'm not going to do any stats. We're not doing any stats. We're not going to flip around. We're just going to leave the board up and we're going to board read. And we're going to put together, hopefully, some fun bets. So, okay, I'm going to flip over to mine. I'm going to leave yours up. Let's get ready to rip this thing. Mark's also on Texas. I appreciate that. I do. Maybe I'm too much in my head with the Texas offense. They just look so bad. And remember, Wyatt Langford got hurt. He's out. And they just can't afford to be missing pieces. But Sheen has struggled. Leiter's been great. Anybody can beat anybody. Anybody can beat anybody. And we know it. BK Square says, I'm not going to do what everyone thinks I'm going to do and freak out, man. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. Fuck you. All right, now let's blast out the board read. Maybe I was thinking maybe this would make a cool, Instagram fucking thing if I could get this in 2 minutes. Literally the fastest 2 minutes of fucking betting anywhere. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. Man, I used to worship and idolize Chris Berman. And if anybody ever picked that up from the the nicknames and stuff. Yo, thank you. Like, that was always the goal. Imitation, truly the sincerest form of flattery. All right, let's do the board read. I'm going to use my own board so I can write down my little noties. Let's not bury the lead here. I love a ton of fucking underdogs here, so I'm going to be digging lots of fucking pricing here. Snakes with shapes in their back. Brandon Fought Boys on the bump against Taiwan, Johnny Walker, and the Fighting Phils. Taiwan Walker just shouldn't be a favorite against anybody. Give me Arizona to win it. Part of me wants to lean on the F5, but I think I'm gonna go full game here. You know what? And if you'll actually be patient, you know what I could do? I can actually mark. I'm gonna mark a parlay as I go, so I can slap a price on this bitch. If I can get my book fucking going. What I've been noticing is, I've been bitching about these things forever. The thing I'm noticing is, it's like if you leave them idle, they're kind of disconnecting. And I wonder if I did that with like a Google setting. You never know. I'm into taking blame. So, okay, I'm got Fought in the Diamondbacks to win this one. And yeah, I think as scared as I am of Philly's offense, Arizona's not hopeless. And I think Walker sucks. Next up, Jansen Junkballer and the Marlins. Jansen Junk. Kidding aside, this is a guy if you're in like a home league for fantasy or a league that, maybe is 12 teams, 15 teams, sharp leagues he's in. You want Junk. He might be legit. He really might be the real deal. Mark had TTO 3.5 yesterday. He said it was free. Yeah, sometimes, I know my guy Jason was struggling with team totals, and they've been tough. A lot of teams haven't doing it, I think, and this sounds so bad, but it is what it is. In small season samples, I like small offensive samples. Even if it's not about, the team is hot. To me, sometimes it's a matter of health. So, like, I'm actually okay chasing good teams, and you're like, maybe you don't want to be forcing Yankees who haven't hit or forcing Red Sox who haven't hit, and you kind of lean into the teams that have. Anyway, Mark, good luck. I appreciate you jumping on. You've really been a cool contributor to this. That goes for, Brian and all you guys out there. Adonis and Mark, Brandon, you're very much a part of this. So back into the underdog escapade. I got Marlins to win it outright. Miami bullpen bothers me a little bit, and maybe I like this one. Maybe I like the F5, but I've got the model reading the same. And again, you don't want to obsess about this F5 full game stuff. But man, these feel like I'm looking downstream, and I'm gonna like totally backtrack. I'm habitually an F5 better, and we're talking parlays. So you like the push to keep you alive. So I'm going to shift these afternoon plays to F5s. Of course, I can't get the fucking thing to work. What is going on here? Okay, but the plays are the same. So it's Arizona. Let's bump to F5. Again, if Fought is good and we get the Walker, I don't really want the Arizona bullpen. Same for Miami, right? If Junk is sharp, we get Demise. We don't want anything to do with Miami bullpen. I might say the same out Pittsburgh and the Cubbies. I like Ashcraft over Cabrera. I'm a Cabrera guy, but I've got Pittsburgh model for the win. I haven't been impressed with the Cubs offense. And let's just let the dogs keep rolling. Now, all this said, people, if you're ringing dog, you should not be parlaying. You want to be playing these things straight and allowing win percentage to take over. But then the fucking book screen just is black now. It didn't even come up anything. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think I was doing like a memory optimization thing. I think I fucked with a Google Chrome setting that's fucking me with like storing information or something like that. I'm going to give up if this doesn't go in 2 seconds. All right, I quit. So I think Pittsburgh F5 probably says the same. Now this game, I have a little bit of a better spread full game, but I'm not sure. I think about Ashcraft as being a big distance guy also. Next up, Joey Ryan on the bump for the Twins, north of the border against Eric Lauer and the Blue Jays. I mean, now this one's more closer to even. Oh, look, it popped up. Okay, cool. So I can actually put a price. I've got Fott was plus 105, Junk was plus 110, Ashcraft is plus 117. I've got Joey Ryan minus 112. Same idea. They lost Royce Lewis. Blue Jays started hitting yesterday, but I do think we have a clear edge in the pitching. I'm going to go with the model and Joey Ryan in the first 5. Next up, I think you got to go over or nothing, and I didn't get that on the model, so I think I'm out on this one. George Clausen facing Brandon Williamson. We got 2 young pitchers with really good arm talent who have struggled in small samples. I'm a little bit worried. I don't know how I feel here. The offenses are kind of throwing me off a little bit. You know, Cincinnati's been impossible to rely on. LA out of the box hot. Now they're kind of in the tank. The strikeouts are really starting to pop up, and I think you might see quite a bit of that. I'm going to leave this one on the cutting room floor. Again, the 9 is saying scoring. I adjusted for Cincy, although, listen, you got to be careful. We're not at the point where it's like dead August. I'm worried. My gut actually says, like, we're under the 9.5. Like, you to bump the alt and go under, everybody looking for all these runs. But I'm not digging it. I'm not feeling it. 2 left, Jake the Snake Lopez on the bump for the A's. 135 dog on the road against Kodai Senga and the Mets. This one to me is just a chalk play. You know, you'd love to mark the Mets down for a run line win. They haven't scored in forever. I just even want to contradict my contradiction and say, yes, I said I'm chasing fucking small samples, but like when there's zeros, you have to look for a bounce, right? Right? My gosh. Mets offense belongs in the fucking toilet. I saw something about a scoreless streak, whatever. It's like ridiculous. You know, it's absolutely just ridiculous right now. Mets just horrific. So the Mets got to win this one. They have to win. You know, I'm just not buying. I'm not really buying Lopez. I'm not in love with the A's offense. Now they're down Rooker as well. Mets are down Soto. Maybe the answer was an under all along. But it's at 7.5, and I just can't get it. Model giving me the nudge to go with the over. I just don't know if the A's can get to the 4 they'll need to tie the Mets and get to 8, you know. And so I think I'm out on this one as well. I mean, if you're parlaying, like, you almost have to play the freaking Mets, unfortunately. Unfortunately for Mets bettors. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Mets run line like a freaking damn donkey. Is it just, this isn't a matter of, you know, there's some weakness in the model and maybe we should be attacking the underdog. It's like, it's there and this is all in my head. Mark says under Reds. Now, you know, that's an interesting play, right? All of the analysis I just did, even with the pretty decent amount of uncertainty, right? I just baked into all that. And I think fairly, the one side that that I missed, I'm sorry, you didn't miss, you hit, would be that. Right, would be, oh wait, under, or hold on, I put myself in a knot. I got to just keep going because I got to get the show in time. Because I was thinking another one and I don't want to screw up there. Yeah, you could get there. A lot of people like Clausen. I worry about the Angels bullpen, but they're rested. I don't know. Again, I don't know. So I'm going to go Senga win, even though the price is freaking killing me. I was kind of hoping like people would be so disgusted with the Mets. Money would come on the A's. It's not really happening. Last but not least, Eric Fettiwap on the bump against Michael Waka Flocka. Oh, man, awesome. Battle of the nicknames. Right? It's a battle in a battle of the Southern rappers. Fetty Wap versus Waka Flocka. Man, I don't know. I think, again, you got to like KC to beat the White Sox. White Sox have been terrible. They're back in the tank. Though I'd want to be on the over. The model didn't quite get me there because the Sox have been so bad. The Royals also. But that total also went to 9, which I'm struggling to get to. I'm milquetoast. These lines feel very sharp to me, which I hate. I guess you could make the same pitch. It's a Royal win, and it's like, hold your nose. Walk a better pitcher. Royals better offense, and you have the better bullpen. So when you have 3 phases, you feel like you're going to win regardless of the price. But I wouldn't pay it. And I'd even say, like, to go, what was it? Mets and Royals is the filthiest, most despicable moneyline donkey parlay I've ever seen. It's a 139 that, like, you don't deserve to hit that I think is going to win. Because this is a perfect example of, like, this, I can't, no, you can't touch it. I'm disgusted with the offenses. And the model's like, do it. The Kermit meme with the hood, do it. All right, so speaking of which, that'll do it. Let's get the freak out of here, yo. Appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Know what I'm saying? The data and all the stats and the ranks and the projections are up 7 days a week, all before the crack of dawn. Yes, y'allin', right? Big John B. Ballin'. The show, however, generally takes a hiatus on Sundays. Big men are known to take off on Sundays, right? But I'm wide open for comments and questions. It's also when I like to do formatting work on the presentation for the model, and I get to do some testing and stuff. Hang out with my fam, but also focus on fantasy. Fantasy waivers, I've been updating midweek. I forget who it was. I'm sorry. But I had a couple of followers ask me if I could. So I'm doing a first run of waivers. So feel free to check. That image gets updated, and so does the bottom of the emails. Bottom of every email has the most updated waiver list. But if you have questions, feel free to hit me up because, guys get hurt and pop on and off of lists. This is just what it's going to be. You could make a list at noon. By 12:05, it's out of date. So don't be ashamed to hit me up. Though I'm going to flat out ignore you if you're not a paid sub. That's what it is now. And I think that'll do it. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. Keep betting small. Keep betting smart. I'm still locked in the combine. So, I'm not sweating any losses. And I think that's a great way to go about betting. People that I've taught quite a few people at this stage to trade and bet. And this is one of the most consistent pieces of that. Put together 10 session sample of profitability before you go live with money. And you'd be surprised how often I've had people legit say, dude, it took me 12 combines. And I'm like, not only did I save you a shit ton of money and aggravation, I legit opened your fucking mind. Because you couldn't believe how bad your process was. Right? Because that's what's going on. And I guess I keep forgetting. I'm always focused on money. But the other part of it is, when you're in a combine, it's much easier to see things clearly and backtest. It really is. It's much, much easier than and the sweating, and all that stuff. So just take my word for it. Bet smart, bet small, tie units to percentage of stack. You will thank me later. If you're grinding percentages, put your money in a money market, grab the APY, hang out with the wang out, stick out with your dick out, you get the rock out with the cock out. You don't even have to work for it. Take a small bitch of that if you like to gamble, and look to break the fucking bank. Don't let anyone tell you, look at these scammers pushing lotto parlays. They're scammers if they're telling you that's where your betting account should be. I'm telling you, your betting account should be in a money market if you're a straight bettor, locking in percentage points. That way, if we totally faceplant on the fucking lottos, which is probably going to happen, you still walked away with a great ROI. Yo, who the fuck else is doing like this? Okay, all kidding aside, that piece right there, people sell. right, as consultations that legit get sold. But if you made it to the last minute of my fucking show during the weekend, you deserve it. Love you all. Enjoy the weekend. You all mean the world to me. Are you going to release a draft picks show? Football draft, not really my jam. I think that stuff gets you into massive amounts of trouble. Oh man, I'd love to do a show on just that alone. Mark, you and I are like, you have to do content? You want to come on air? People who their entire life and career is based on prospect prediction all have terrible hit rates. It's very hard. So when it comes to fantasy, I like to let it digest and play for the values. I generally don't pay up for rookies. When it comes to like actual like the draft pick itself, man, I know there's a lot of cool value in the picks, but it's not really my thing. I had a little bit of success on my own using Dwayne McFarland's supermodel, which, being very analytically based, I think reflects what a lot of teams might be looking at. And I think it explains some of the out-of-pocket picks, right? The out-of-pocket picks. Right? People were LOLing the fucking Lions for Jahmyr Gibbs, and I'm an asshole, the fucking lineman. Oh my God, you're an idiot, Hutchinson or whatever. Oh my God, LOL. They have like future fucking Hall of Famers, you know what I'm saying? So the draft is really crazy, very hard to predict though. I do have the football brain going, though. Best ball picks ranks start to come out right after the draft when that shit kind of settles. So I appreciate you all. Enjoy the weekend. You mean the absolute world to me. I obsess over, keeping you attached. How can I have paid subscribers say, this is worth it, this person cares, I'm receiving value, and I feel good supporting this. That's my fucking goal as the CEO and, operating officer of this shit show. So, from everybody here at La Casa Gaza, enjoy the games, enjoy the day, and when we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Remember, when you work this freaking hard, the winning feels a lot less like luck, man.